next guest is a successful businesswoman and former model who now joins her father, Donald Trump, in the boardroom on NBC's The Apprentice. Los Angeles, please welcome Ivanka Trump. You look beautiful. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, a lot to talk about.
You know what is unique? How tall the three of us collectively are, I think.
That doesn't usually happen in show business.
No,
most people in show business are tiny, tiny people.
I feel like I'm frequently disappointed.
Yeah.
So
No. This is nice.
This is definitely a pleasure.
This is nice. And I work out.
Obviously.
Okay, then. Let's pretend that's true.
As true as the deep reservoir of calm, right?
Thanks, yeah.
Sorry.
You are the Vice President of Development for the Trump Organization.
I am.
And I was reading an interview that you did, and you said you always wanted to do this. Even when you were a kid, you wanted to build skyscrapers. Is that true?
That is absolutely true, actually.
Yeah.
I remember one of my earlier Christmas gifts was a Barbie, and I was devastated because my brothers had gotten Legos and erector sets.
Right.
So to me, this, is traumatic, and, I wanted that, so I ended up taking my younger brother's Legos, bringing them into his room to add insult to injury,
right.
locking him out, taking my mother's super glue from the 1980s, there was plenty for her nails, and gluing the Legos together in a model of Trump Tower. So my father, in scolding me, also was never so proud. So,
right.
my little brother's crying. He's saying, Ivanka, that's terrible. But at the same time, he looked very proud.
So your father comes in the room and he sees that you've built a skyscraper out of Legos. And
skyscraper of Legos, ruined the Christmas present completely. But one of the most amusing things, and I think is so typical of him and his parenting style and just how he is that 4 days later, he actually came up to me and goes, Ivanka, this has been bothering me. Keep in mind, I'm 6 years old. And I go, what, Dad? And he goes, the other day when you made a model of Trump Tower with these Legos, you made 5 setbacks in the architectural facade of the building. There are only 4. So this had been bothering him for 4 days.
You're fired!
And he was thinking about...
He starts chewing you out.
How to tactfully tell me
that
there were 5, 4 instead of 5 setbacks.
The zoning commission will never allow this.
He could not let it go. He could not let it go.
Did he start trying to buy up the carpet around the building you had done? I'll crush you, 6-year-old. Now, do you find construction, do you find construction sexy? Is there something sexy about it? You like to go to construction sites? And,
absolutely.
Yeah?
I think that just generally there's something tangible. You're creating something, you're building something.
Right.
At the end of your efforts, there's something that remains behind you, and I think there's something just really beautiful about that to me.
Right. Do you actually go and hang out then when they're building a skyscraper?
Oh, sure.
Are you there and you're hanging out with
I'm on site. I'm in not these heels.
Right.
Sometimes, most often flats or construction boots, but yeah, we're on the site all the time, walking our jobs.
Now, let's talk about, you've said that you work for your dad, and of course, he's famous for being tough on people. Can you imagine a scenario where maybe, let's say you screw up, something doesn't go right, would your dad fire you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know how, it's amazing, I'm sitting there on my couch one Sunday, and I'm sort of, this has a tendency to happen with him because he's everywhere now.
Yeah.
So I'll be, driving and sort of zoning out, and I hear his voice come over the radio.
Because he's really, it's not that you're hallucinating, he's really on the radio.
He's on the radio, he's on the television. So I'm sitting there and I see a teaser for Larry King.
Yeah.
And the only thing I sort of hear is this question being posed to him of, your kids are doing a great job. In the event that they screw up, would you fire them? To which he responds, not only that he would fire us, but he would fire us like a dog.
What?
So I call him immediately.
Your dad said I'd fire her like a dog.
Like a dog. And I go, Dad, I would expect you to fire me if I were to mess up. But did you have to add the like a dog part?
What does that even mean, to fire someone like a dog? You're fired, and then you throw a tennis ball?
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here! Go!
That's actually good.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I'm going to go into the office on Monday, and there'll be a tennis ball sitting on the edge of his desk.
I caught Conan. Don't worry. I've had his legs broken. What was his parenting style like? I'm trying to imagine your dad as a parent, like trying to discipline you or trying to keep tabs on you. What's he like?
He's definitely not a typical father. I mean, I think that The Apprentice has really humanized him, and you can sort of see the paternal side and how he deals with the contestants on the show.
Right.
But he's a character. He's been great, though. I mean, he was the most accessible dad. He was always there. I'd call him in the office. He'd have, you know, heads of state sitting in his office, and he'd put me on speakerphone and tell them how great I was doing in school when I was around, you know, 9 years old. So
is he overprotective, would you say, sometimes?
Oh, yeah. He is.
Yeah.
He is. Not atypical of fathers of, you know, 25-year-old girls, I think.
Right, right.
But so we have this funny dynamic in that he's both my boss and my father. So it's just, it's funny when that transcends into a work environment.
Because, you know, he's been here on the show many, many, many times, and I've asked him about you, and he is kind of, he's said that it sounds like it would be tough, you know, for you to have a boyfriend, because you have a boyfriend, and then it's time to go meet Dad. And
you know, I feel like my last boyfriend never got a fair shake because I think he started getting offended that I just would never bring him around and started blaming it on the guy, but really it was just me. I think he can be a little bit intimidating.
Right, your dad,
just a little.
I would think so. All right, now, how tough, well, the kind of guy that you're looking for when you're dating, how financially secure does that guy have to be? Okay? Do you know what I mean? Let's say, could you have a boyfriend? Let's say there's this guy you kind of like, but he just sits around his apartment all day and eats ramen fried noodles, and he's like, yeah, I don't really need a job. Man, I got to get my head together for a couple of years. Would that be tough, I would think, to be around you if he's like that?
Absolutely. I mean, the measure of success for me is not necessarily financial with the people I choose to date. It's more that they have, I think, some degree of success in their chosen field is important. Otherwise, I think it would be very easy to get insecure around my family and around my father.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter what field they're in, but I just need a guy who's confident, secure. Not unlike Jeff. I was watching him out here. I don't know.
What are you saying?
Your glasses just all fogged up. It was really funny to see. Watch out for him.
I know.
Look at him. He's like a cat over there. Look at him looking at you. He's evil. Well, all right then. If I can hook people up, then I'm like Chuck Woolery. Well, The Apprentice Los Angeles, this is, you're trying some new stuff. You've got contestants that are on the beach in Malibu, and they're living in tents. Yeah,
they're actually in the Hollywood Hills. I mean, in terms of places to live, it's not all that bad.
Right.
But if you saw the condition of the tents, it's rather abhorrent. So I feel for them a little bit. I walk through the tents.
Do you like to go camping?
I do.
Really?
I was actually camping recently in both Patagonia and Atacama. That's where I've been spending a lot of time in Chile, and I just go to the most remote place, basically, on the earth, and try and get away from it all once in a while.
Is your dad
I'm not given that much holiday, though. So
is your dad a big outdoorsman? Does he like to go out into the, you know, in the wild? And
Zero.
Zero.
I think the closest my father comes to nature is his golf courses.
Right.
I mean, there's grass, right?
I could just picture him going out into the wilds of Montana and building a hotel and being there. It's good to get out into nature. Well,
somebody's got to start it, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's not true. Don't need a big hotel out there.
Well, I was just about to announce our new project in Montana, and you sort of screwed it up for me.
Really? There's a new hotel in Montana? Oh.
Not yet.
I want to see my name on a hotel. The Apprentice Los Angeles airs Sundays at 10 on NBC. Thanks so much for stopping by. Great talking to you. Yeah.
It's fun.
Ivanka Trump, everybody will take a break. When we come back, Pete Yorn. So stick around. He's going to perform.